Is your mother or father, your parent, caretaker, jealous of you? It's a problem that is more common than we realize when you grow up with an emotionally immature parent, a narcissistic parent, or someone who is just generally malignant. What would that look like? What does it even mean to have a parent that's jealous of you? Well, one of the first things you might notice as an adult if you are dealing with a parent who's jealous of you is you might notice malicious gossip. You might notice this parent goes to other people and talks poorly about you. They seem to want other people to believe the worst about you. Now, before you jump to narcissism, this could just simply be jealousy, right? That parent feels insecure by what you've accomplished or how you lead your life, and they feel a need to tear you down in the eyes of others so that they feel better about themselves. Simple jealousy. There are also over the top reactions that you will get with this type of parent, right? So let's say, for example, that you approach this parent and you try to express an issue that you have or a problem that you have with them. They might explode. They might try to minimize your feelings, paint you as the bad guy, put you in a bad place because they don't want to acknowledge their insecurities or they don't want to acknowledge the things about you which are strengths, which are good, which might be coming through in that moment. I've also noticed working with some of my clients that when you have a jealous parent, when you're dealing with a jealous parent, what you might also see is someone who seeks a lot of attention. When you get in family gatherings, that person goes above and beyond, especially if that family gathering, let's say, is something for you, like a graduation or a celebration for a promotion. That parent might do everything they can to steal the spotlight and get all the attention on them in their moments, again, to minimize the accomplishments that you have gained that may trigger insecurities in them or make them feel like they've been cheated of something that they should have been entitled to. And that really comes down to that minimizing of success, right? When a jealous person sees someone who has something that they feel that they want or that they deserved or that they were entitled to, one way that they will kind of soothe that jealousy is to attack and to minimize those people that have what they want. So if you go to that jealous parent and you're like, wow, look, I did it, I graduated, they might say something like, good job, why didn't you do that 2 years ago? Or good job, why weren't your grades better? That kind of a thing. So it's always minimizing that success so that they don't feel threatened and insecure. Now, if your jealous parent happens to be a malignant type, let's say a malignant narcissist, what you might also see is relationship interference. Now, this is something that my mom did quite a lot and very subtly, right? When a jealous parent is jealous of a relationship, which is way more common than you would think, they will interfere in it. And they might do that a couple of different ways. They might go to that partner and run you down to that partner to try to push that partner away from you. They may try to alienate your children from you, to gain that relationship. You may even notice that they creep into your ear, which is what my mother did, and whisper bad things and encourage you to see the worst, believe the worst, expect the worst, so that you end up detonating that relationship that they're jealous of. Now, if you happen to be a woman with a jealous parent, you can also notice that sometimes you fall into these ridiculous beauty competitions. Your mother might try to compete with you in looks or other superficial ways, again, to try to exhibit some kind of superiority, to soothe that jealousy that she feels, which is completely rooted in, stereotypes and patriarchy and yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of criticizing too that comes with that jealous parent, right? Because a lot of people who are jealous, especially parents, even parents, because they are humans, when they feel jealous, there's an insecurity that's triggered. And so for them, it feels like leveling the playing field by criticizing that person who's triggered the insecurity, even if that person doesn't deserve it. And one of the biggest signs is just straight up selfishness. Jealous people, when they are in that state of jealousy, when they are triggered in those insecurities, they can become very selfish. They can internalize a lot of things. They can take up a lot of air in the room and demand a lot of soothing and attention from the people around them. Again, trying to make themselves feel important because they feel as though their child has made them feel insignificant in some way. So what's the best way to deal with a jealous parent, right? How do we handle that? Number one, don't engage in conflict. Do not fight with them. It is not worth it. It will not change anything. It will not make anything better. Engage in as little conflict as you possibly can. Number two, educate yourself. Educate yourself. Figure out what the deeper cause is. What is at play? Why does your parent have to lash out and make all of your career accomplishments about themselves? Is it because they never got a chance to build that career? They didn't have the courage. They didn't have the faith in themselves. Try to figure out what it is that triggers that jealousy and insecurity in them, not so that you can change anything about yourself, but so that you can understand with empathy and some compassion as you move forward and start protecting yourself. Once you kind of know what's going on, once you have a handle on how you're feeling, maybe you've gone to talk to a therapist, you can communicate at that stage if you feel ready, if you feel there's a point or a purpose. The point of this communication is not to change them. It is simply to express the way you feel and to put it out in the open so that any action you take moving forward, fair warning. Next, don't play the game. Once you have taken a stand, once you start changing things, changing the way you relate to them, communicating with them about how you feel, there will be mind games, there will be victimhood. Don't play into it. And last but not least, set ironclad boundaries. Make it clear, if you do this, you will not talk to me. You will not see me. You will be put in timeout. I will go no contact. Whatever that boundary is, express it to that parent and then stick to it. Protect yourself and your well-being and your family. What do you think? Have you noticed these patterns in your jealous parent? Let me know in the comments and follow for more.